and surprise. Melanie marked on the graph paper where her characters would begin their movement. She threw the dice. Always remember this. Every character on Hexworld was created by the outsiders. We exist solely for the amusement of those who play our world. Our ambitions, our concerns mean nothing. Everything is determined by the roll of the dice. The Book of Rules. 1. Cesspools of Gyroth. Rule 1. Always have fun. The Book of Rules. As they crossed the thick black line that separated one hexagon of terrain from the next, the forest suddenly became an oozing swamp. Even the fresh woodland smell changed to the festering dampness of decay. Brill is supposed to be lost somewhere in here? Velret promptly sank up to the top of his boot in swamp muck. His burly cousin Delriel strode over the sharp hexagon line into the swamp, heedless of where he put his foot. He walked confidently, ready for anything. Good thing friendship runs deep. Brill wasn't that much of a sorcerer. Velret searched for a safer place to step, but it all looked the same to him. His eyes were weak from too much reading in dim rooms, though he found the reading much more interesting than questing from hexagon to hexagon. He hasn't had any training, Del. He's 3 times our age, and nobody's ever taught him worthwhile magic. He scratched through his spiky blonde hair and thought of the manuscripts still waiting to be deciphered, chronologies of legends to be worked out. You of all people know how important training is. The thin mud slurped against Velret's boot as he took another step. Running from quest to quest, exploring catacombs, searching for monsters and treasure, it struck him as being juvenile. The world had changed since all that. He wished the outsiders could amuse themselves by playing more sophisticated games, like hexagon chess. Delriel slogged ahead. His leather armor covered broad shoulders, but he wore no helmet to protect his head. Velret saw bits of forest debris clinging to his cousin's brown hair from sleeping on the ground the night before. Even on an adventure, Delriel wore his gold rings, badges, and especially the silver belt his father had given him. Delriel sighed. About time we had another quest together. It's been, 6 years? The world is settling down too much. I spend all my time down at the game tables or practicing with the trainees at the stronghold, and you waste away poring over manuscripts. We should find us a good cave to explore, maybe even an ancient dungeon left over from the early days of the game. Velret squinted into the hazy air, frowning. Brill was looking for the airstone, not just wandering around for fun. Well, I wish he'd waited for us to give him some reinforcements. Whoever heard of going on a quest by yourself? Delriel shouldered branches and weeds aside, grumbling. And now we have to rescue him. Delriel had plenty of strength, charisma, and endurance for situations like this. Velret was by no means weak, but he had trouble doing anything graceful with a broadsword or a battle-axe, and with his weak eyesight he made a poor archer. He could prove his worth if they needed some serious thinking or planning. He had not been born with any sorcerer blood, so he could not use magic to defend them. Next time, we'll have to teach him to leave a trail of breadcrumbs. Velret brushed aside a beard of Spanish moss and followed behind his cousin. Delriel pushed ahead without slowing. Come on, we should be able to cross another hex or 2 before nightfall. As the swamp thickened and began to drool with humidity, clouds of starving mosquitoes feasted on the 2 men. The forest sank in on itself, separated by scattered pools of stagnant water the color of tea. Dusty brown butterflies flitted across the ground. Wide-boled cypress trees dangled branches like fingers and thrust knobby knees upward, as if trying to keep their balance in the muck. Huge pitcher plants, large enough to swallow a man, gaped with wide and colorful mouths, exuding a sweet aroma that made Velret feel dizzy. Curious, he peered down the gullet of one plant and saw partially digested birds and a dead frog. He stumbled away, breathing deeply to clear his head. When is this swamp terrain going to end? Velret heaved in a lungful of the thick air. Sweat seemed to hang on him. He thought of his own dwelling and the scented candles lit.